And all of these things added in here, that as a note buyer, that's all warm and fuzzy. And when we see that kind of stuff written in there, oh my goodness, yes, I'll pay you an extra, percentage of whatever. As long as I can still hit my numbers, but
So-
this is a very sellable
The
note.
only thing I didn't see in here, right, and what makes us even more excited, I'm gonna say probably the highest, even above interest being high,
Yeah.
is the ability, and for note buyers, you're probably gonna say, is this legal? And it is, including servicing fees inside the note, meaning the
That's right.
borrower can pay the servicing fees that we typically net out when we make an offer, that if the servicing fee is 20 or 35, I know Kevin's listening, right? And so how, we literally can set this up where we're buying notes and those originating, if you can include this, great, that the borrower pays outside of their P&I, PITI, the price of the monthly servicing. And make sure you include it, it'll adjust. So that is even more fuzzy, right, Nathan? That if they can pay servicing fees of $20, $35 a month, whatever the fee is, it's golden.
Yeah. Like you say, we're always netting that out. So if that can be included in there, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So instead of collecting
Well,
$330 a month, we're collecting $350.
Yeah.
Right. So we always encourage every single person that comes to us. We are always going to encourage to hire your loan servicing company to make sure that they're doing all of the reporting on your behalf, making sure that they're collecting those payments and paying all the taxes at the end of the year. It's such a headache. Just with my own personal portfolio.
Yeah.
I mean, servicing is a lot. So if somebody can do it for $35 a month, please be my guest.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
also make sure they're licensed. Okay. Don't get a loan servicing company that's not licensed.
So licensing is a big thing, and MLS. So the fact that what states servicers are licensed, I know Kevin and so how we're on right now on the broadcast. So, and also on LinkedIn, you can definitely talk about this stuff. But the idea that when the servicer is licensed in certain states, they can collect on your behalf. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Kevin made the comment that as long as it's on the contract and they agree to pay the fees, we're good to go on that.
Yeah. So include it in there because man, that's a fantastic.
And we always do on the loan disclosures also, just right off the bat, we just added on there for every loan disclosure that we send out, regardless if you're going to use a servicing company or not, just because, we want to be sure, right? Hey, this is where how you should go. This is the path you should take.
Yeah.
So we had a ton of questions on this, which is great. There's been a lot of questions on this, both for the note buyers and for the note creators. Let's go back to this one. Allie, she's asking if she has a property that she wants to do owner financing on, and then she gets 2 or 3 different applicants. They all look relatively good. Does she run all, let's say there's 3 applicants, does she run all 3 of them through an RMLO just for the underwriting part of it to see which one best qualifies?
So we don't do pre-qualifications without a contract because of this reason, right? I mean, if somebody is doing all this marketing and you're getting all these people contacting you to buy this house and they're just sending them over to us, we're going to be pre-qualifying all day long.
Yeah.
So I would say you have to do your best, choose the best candidate. The number one thing that I would look for is, how long they've been at their job. Maybe if you got 3 applicants, but one of them has been at their job for 10 years. I think that's, a big one. If, someone's putting a large down payment or somebody's giving a better down payment better than another person, that's, skin in the game.
Yeah.
So they're not going to, want to foreclose or risk foreclosure. So I would definitely go with that person. But I think that the owner, the seller, needs to make that decision first before they send them over to the RMLO.
Okay.
And you can request, say, hey, send me one pay stub or one bank statement, just something that you can kind of just look and see, okay, yeah, or just ask the questions. How long have you been at your job? What do you do? Just a quick interview.
Okay, awesome. As a reminder to everybody, we're going to go through some more of these questions. As a reminder, Sarah is going to be at DME.
Yes.
So you can pester her with all kinds of questions in person. She can't get away.
put the referral code, I think it's mine, whatever, in the
Yeah.
DME, in the Facebook comments as well as LinkedIn. So
Yeah, use Dave's. So
it's
real quick aside, use
Yeah.
Dave's because it gives us the tracking. We know
Yeah.
which referrals are working best, so we can know if Dave is the best referrer. Then we'll give
I'm
him
trying, guys. Help me
give him
out
a
here.
high five or
I
something.
get a free like microwave or something, right?
Yeah. The other thing is just for people's information,
Yeah.
the reason I'm pushing the early bird tickets so much is I need to know how much food to order. I need to know how many water bottles to order. I need to know how many lanyards to order. So that's for me, that's my purpose. For you, it's to save a couple $100. For me, it's all about planning, and it's 100% about planning. If you want to spend more money, that's fine, but then that just gives me a bigger headache.
And today's the last day for
Today's the last
hotel room,
day.
so make sure you get on top of that. So
Help me plan.
we have a ton of questions. I'm trying to keep them organized. So probably if I'm distracted here once in a while, let's try wrapping some of these questions in and basically be like shooting
Grouping them
arrows at the
together,
siren. We feel bad. So I apologize. Go ahead, Nathan. Which one did you jump off the page for you?
Let's go. Ali, just real quick, she also asked about how soon can I sell a note after it's originated? It depends. If you're talking to me, I'll buy it right away. If you're talking to Dave, if it's been through an RMLO, I'll buy it immediately. Dave wants a little bit of seasoning on his, which is
3-6 months.
Yeah,
we'll buy a table, but we're going to give you a huge discount on the note itself because of just the risk level.
Yeah. But that's a good
question.
I'm
gonna put a really quick suggestion there. If you actually establish a relationship with your note buyer, you could probably have no seasoning on your notes with maybe like a buyback clause, that says, hey, if this doesn't perform within the next 3 to 6 months or something happens, I'll buy it back from you. And it's just kind of that, you establishing that relationship, and that note buyer knows that you're going to be sending them good paper. And so just as a suggestion.
Yeah. And if the borrower has been a tenant for a year, that's still seasoning. That tells me the fact they've been able to repay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Good question. If it defaults, Ali, then yes, you got to go through a foreclosure. That's just how the process goes.
Yep. Sorry. Good job, Sohal. Sohal made the comment that he used Nathan's referral. Good job.
There you go. Good.
Sorry, guys.
Just reading through the questions here.
Yeah. Make sure nothing on
Seneca. I sold a piece of land which the buyer has placed on mobile home on. Now what can I do in retrospect to protect myself?
Yeah, so if they're living on that mobile home,
then
it would be a good thing to just re-originate it.
Yeah.
We had a question from the note pusher on LinkedIn that can you do that modification with only land contracts or existing notes too? Anything you've originated can be newly originated. You can't modify it if the terms are not done correctly. So you have to create a whole new process, a whole new note, because that original note can't be modified from my knowledge. We'll ask Jeff on the next call. You have to create a brand new note and make sure it's legit and underwritten and RMLO'd for that state.
Now, that being said,
yes,
just if you're going to a note buyer, most private note buyers will look at whatever pay history that you had and count that towards the history of the note most of the time. You'll get some banks or somebody that they won't qualify that. Most private buyers, they'll look at whatever pay history you had beforehand and they'll say, yeah, that counts. Just FYI.
Awesome.
So you haven't lost anything.
So I'm just grabbing some questions for Nathan.
Yeah,
Mark.
Mark's asking about what about the self-employed people that may not keep the best records of their income?
So we always work with, obviously, 90% of our end buyers are going to be self-employed or paid cash. So we're very used to working with that clientele. So we help them in any way, shape, or form to come up with that proof of income. So for instance, you have your landscaper that, has maybe 5 houses and 1 commercial property that he gets money from and they pay him cash. So we would kind of help him out by saying, okay, let's go get a 1099 from each one of your employers. let's do a verification, actual written verification of employment from each employer. Just start getting, building, building that proof of income with additional documentation. So that's something that we're used to. So that's something that we'll work directly with the buyer to obtain. Again, we're very used to doing that. We have that all the time. Now, the only people we cannot help, is somebody who says, I'm flat out, I'm not employed. I don't have a job. And trust me, I've had those. I'm not employed.
Wow.
Okay, well, those are the only people we cannot help.
Unemployed, but somehow they're receiving mysterious income. You probably want to run away anyway, so that's fine.
So the
go
next
ahead.
question I see here that stood out for me was from Nick. Good question. Where my Nick question? How does the usury law affect APR? Are you familiar with that? How does it? Is there effect? Do you know how it affects it?
So the usury, I think that goes way above the thresholds that we're looking at staying under. This is why we're here and having this talk today, is so you don't get to that point, right? So if you're going to go rogue and you're not going to use an RMLO and you're just going to go and charge the buyer whatever interest rate you want, then you definitely need to just go research that in your own state and see what that max usury rate. I think it's like 24% or something. So if you're going to be a predatory lender, then yeah, go check those thresholds out. But if what we're talking about today is not to be that, not to go over those thresholds. Again, the higher price right now is going to be the 6.5 plus prime. So that puts you around 12, 13%. If you're going to go high cost, you're probably going to be around 15%, 14 to 15%.
And
No buyers.
13% loan.
We like those higher interest rates for us. No buyers.
sure.
We want that buyer return.
Yeah.
All
For
right.
sure. But you can, yeah, I mean, but it's still good at 12%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, we're used
Yeah.
to buying it at 6 and 7%, so totally different market here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So that's not bad at all.
so let's go through some of these
So-
questions here.
So Hill's got a good one about
yeah.
credit. When you're looking at, like, if you're trying to determine somebody's debt to income, let's say you look at that credit report and then you see that there's like child support payments on there. How does that affect their debt to income ratio?
For sure, we'll add it to their liabilities.
Okay.
And we'll, obviously we'll get current proof of what they're paying today. But yeah, that's definitely something that we'll add to their liabilities.
Yeah, good question.
Edgar, the question was regarding a situation where the market value of the property is 150. They asked 160 with 10% down. Would that be compliant with situation? Regarding the fact that they basically sold it for more than the market value says it is. That's a very common thing with seller finance. There's no wrong or right way to do that thing. It's more about the borrower, making sure they have the ability to repay. So they basically would, you're saying is you would sell for 160, they put 10% down, and then you finance the rest. I hope that correct on your question there.